At this time, we'll call the Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 meeting of the Jackson County Board of Supervisors to order. Larry McDevitt and myself are here in person. Mike is on the screen. So, and we have Lisa Smith and Bjorn Beck and Luann Goki, our administrative assistant. And David Dreyer is our first appointment for this morning. So good morning, David.
Good morning.
Morning.
Got a number of items on our agenda. First is project resolutions for two projects for construction this year. First is the 475th Avenue Bridge replacement that's in Washington Township, just south of 495th Avenue. Posted 25 tons. We went out and had engineers design it. Price awarded at $407,823.62. Low bid was Todd Construction, and the next highest bid was $490,200. So we recommend approval to Schrader Construction, not where I was thinking of. Jim Schrader Construction at $407,823.62.
Sorry, 407.
823.62.
You said Schrader Construction?
Yeah.
I would move to approve that contract as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bid of Schrader Construction for $407,803.72.
I have a question first. This is my
Okay.
resolution, correct?
Yes.
So this is actually resolution number 852-01-11-2022. Just for clarification, number 852-01-11-2022.
And my motion would to include that, approve that resolution.
Thank you.
All right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
The next one is for the resurfacing with milling of 150th Street or E17, Highway E17.
Yay! Praise the Lord, finally.
The low bid is Matthew Construction at $1,010,000, $145.64.
Motion to approve.
Second.
This is
And
again,
that's also a resolution.
it is a resolution number 853-01-11-2022.
I'm sorry, David, was there other bids?
The next highest bidder was Manats at 1.1 million. So Matthew came in, pretty well there below. So we recommend approval of that one.
Okay,
So moved.
and your second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 When is their start date for that?
I think probably June. I'm not sure exactly what the dates are. I'd have to check with Mike.
That's fine, that's fine.
Springtime.
Oh, that is wonderful.
And entrance permits. So we have two entrance permits. The first one is for Mr. Glenn Schmidt, Sprague Field. He's looking for a Class D residential driveway in Fairfield Township on 387th Avenue, west side of the road. And that has been reviewed by Roger and recommend approval of that.
So moved.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second to approve the Class D residential entrance for Glenn Schmidt. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
And we have a Class D field entrance permit for Mr. Steve Sitko from Oak Park, Illinois. He's looking for a field entrance in Farmers Creek, Section 4 of 188th Street on the south side of the road. It has been reviewed by Roger and we recommend approval of that.
So moved. Is that close to the bridge? That was your place? Yeah.
I think that they looked at that and Roger said, thought it was okay.
Okay.
I have to look at it exactly to see where it fell.
I would second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the field entrance permit, Class C field entrance permit for Steve Kaido. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Is that how you pronounce it? I wasn't sure. Okay, next permit is a utility permit for Makokura Valley Electric. Let's see, make sure I get the right one first.
Jackson Township is the one that's listed with us.
Yeah.
150th Street.
Okay.
And you're recommending that, right?
Yes,
So moved.
Second.
So a motion and a second to approve the Makokura Valley Electric Co-op.
on 150th Street,
150th Street fiber optic cable boring.
under Jackson's Township, sections 13 and 24.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Second utility permit is for Makokura Valley Electric. Directional bore for fiber optic cables in South Fork Township, section 11 on 85th Street. Recommend approval of that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the permit from Makokura Valley Electric Co-op right of way permit. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And final two items are final project payment vouchers for projects that we undertook this year. The first one is for the bridge that Taylor Construction did for us over Lux Creek, and looking to release their retainage of $10,937.94. Completed the work.
And that is final.
Yes. We
I
completed.
move to approve. Your inspections and everything, I suppose, all complete, correct?
Yes, they did, completed the punch list, did everything that IDOT wanted to be remedied, and we should be good.
Give me that figure again, David. It's the 400th Street Bridge was for how much?
$10,937.94.
Okay, and I just assume that on the 188th is next.
Yes,
What is that figure?
that is for $16,779.
Are you good, Lisa?
Yep, I'm good. Thank you.
I would make a motion to approve the final voucher as presented.
I would second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
So the 188th Street Bridge, that was like a 60-foot bridge? Is that what got replaced with?
Yeah,
What was the other one? Is that a smaller one? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure exactly what the dimensions are. I can pull that out if you like. I actually think 180th Street might have been longer.
Okay.
They raised it up quite a bit and pulled it back.
Oh, the 400th Street Bridge is roughly how many dollars? 188 was 552 or something.
Rats.
So anyways,
It's about 364,000.
okay. Thank you.
188th Street Bridge, final payment for Schrader Construction of $16,779. And they also completed their punch list and, any changes, modifications IDOT wanted, so we're good to close that one out as well. And, appreciate both the companies' work on the projects for us.
Nice having done.
Yes.
Okay, any questions?
I would make a motion to approve the final voucher payment as presented.
Second.
I thought we already did both of
Oh,
them.
you did too.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're doing separate.
They were two separate companies though, correct?
Yes, they
Correct.
were.
That is
Yes.
correct.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
That are all my items.
David, you still there?
Yep.
I just wanted to tell you, I had also, other than some of the calls I also had some compliments for the road crew also. So I want you to pass that along. They had, there was a lot of satisfied customers out there, people out there that were happy with what they did.
We'll let them know.
I had several people that stopped me after church Sunday and said, thank you, road crew.
All right.
I actually heard that a couple people had called direct to some of your workers too, that just knows them personally and thanked them, so.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
We're ready for you.
Do we have any citizens that wish to address the board? This time we'll recess until we're joined by Christina Trennell. That's okay.
Been into recess, I had a recess myself.
We'll reconvene. And we're being joined by Christina Trennell, our zoning administrator. Good morning.
The first item that I have before you is the construction evaluation resolution. This is one that we have to pass every single year by the Iowa code. This allows the county to adopt a recommendation to approve or disapprove a construction permit application that is in regards to a proposed confined feeding operation. And so, oh, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're specifically talking about the master matrix, so correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Which I don't think they listen to us anyway, but
Yeah, I mean, they can do whatever they want.
absolutely.
I still, all the meetings we sat through and everything we sat through, I know there's contentious in a lot of different places. I just feel somehow that the DNR needs to be more involved in that.
And some of the locations of these.
Well, ventilation and or location and or a lot of different aspects of it, the parameters that they set are easily, they can avoid them by X amount of population or whatnot,
Mhm.
but it's all we have to go by.
That's right. It is.
Is there any rumblings that they'll do anything about it this year or not?
I haven't heard anything.
I doubt that they will. So do we have a motion to approve?
I'd make that motion.
Second,
So this is a resolution number 854-01-11-2022.
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Aye, motion carried.
Okay, the second item that I have is a resolution 855-01-11-2022. This is the resolution to approve the final plat of the Schulte subdivision. This is a minor subdivision in the area that's north of Bellevue, kind of between Dressler subdivision and Wagner subdivision to the south. There's the biggest concern that I had about it was just if they were creating new lots, making sure that those lots have legal access. Down in this area, there is a lot of private roads, and so we just want to make sure that any new lots developed would be allowed to access those private roads.
And that was all cleared up and
Yeah, that was, so they have access through the Cheney side of it, as far as I know right now. Lot 3, as of right now, once they go to sell it, as far as I know, they're not intending to sell that property right now, but I'm sure that they will in the future, and once they do, they'll have to show legal access documentation for that, so,
And they're aware of that.
yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other?
I would
que-
make them, you know, this, it was my recollections from the past, I mean, years ago, that this property owner, I was under the assumption that that was subdivided already. And it does lay adjacent to, is it 304th? Is that correct, Christina?
Yeah.
And 395th, I mean, it borders, one of the lots borders 395th also, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Access to a road without an easement.
yeah.
They do.
they
Okay.
do, yeah.
I mean, each lot lies adjacent to 304th except lot 1, which I believe, Christina, correct me, is there's an access road toward the river there, toward the east, correct?
303rd Street is shown on the plat.
Okay. Yeah, and if you're familiar with the area, it lays adjacent to the Wagner subdivision. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I would make a motion to approve.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution on the Schulte subdivision. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Motion carried. And now our fun one.
Yeah. So this is actually, we have to set a public hearing for this, is that correct? So to make an amendment to the recently adopted floodplain ordinance. We forgot to add in the shallow flooding overlay district, which is just a small area outside of Sebula. So we need to make an amendment to that floodplain ordinance. And set a public hearing date for, I'm proposing January 25th. At 10 a.m. At 10 a.m.
there's no buildings or anything in that area.
No, there isn't.
Okay.
Is it, am I correct by saying, Christina, that it's currently all underwater?
For the most part, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically part of the lake from
Yeah,
what I
that
can.
basically is.
Make a motion to approve.
I would second.
Motion and a second to approve the public hearing date of January 25th at 10 a.m. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, next we have Luann Koki, our administrative assistant.
Good morning.
Good morning. And those, and one to Larry. So we'll start with the calendar this morning. 4 o'clock this afternoon is a Makokura River Watershed Executive Committee meeting by Zoom for Larry. And at 7 o'clock tonight is the Jackson County Board of Health meeting downstairs in the community room. Wednesday, January 12th at 9 a.m. Jack is going to be on KMAQ's Just Talk show. At 10 o'clock, he has a 0 to 5 and 60 minutes meeting by Zoom. And at 11:30, he has a Mississippi Valley Workforce quarterly lunch and learn also by Zoom. Thursday, January 13th at 7 a.m. Mike has a Bellevue Hometown Pride meeting by Zoom. At 10 a.m. is the Iowa DHS Council by Zoom for Jack. And at 1 p.m. we have a work session on insurance by Zoom for all. Friday, January 14th at 10 a.m. is 7th Judicial Department of Corrections meeting in Davenport for Larry. Monday, January 17th at 10 a.m. is Waste Authority of Jackson County meeting for Mike. And at 6 p.m. is the Together We Build meeting for Jack. Our next regular meeting will be Tuesday, January 18th at 9 a.m. And I still have two tentative meetings for that night, Jackson County Economic Alliance, and also for Jack and the Conservation Board meeting for Larry. So I will confirm those and get back to you on those. The other piece of business I have this morning is a motion on a resolution to appoint the trustees for the benefited fire districts. And that would be, there's benefited fire districts in Andrew, Sebula, and Miles. So whereas each of the benefited fire districts in Andrew, Miles, and Sebula have a trustee whose term expired on December 31st, 2021. And whereas two of those trustees wish to be reappointed, and whereas a vacancy exists in the Miles benefited fire district. And whereas the Jackson County Board of Supervisors desires to reappoint the two existing trustees and to fill the vacancy. Now therefore be it resolved, the Jackson County Board of Supervisors does hereby reappoint for terms ending December 31st, 2024 as follows. For the Andrew benefited fire district, Steve Lukey, and for the Sebula benefited fire district, John Horst. Be it further resolved that the Jackson County Board of Supervisors does hereby appoint Joel Brown to fill the vacancy on the Miles benefited fire district board with the term ending December 31st, 2024.
Motion to approve.
I would second.
A motion and a second to appoint Steve Lukey and John Horst and Joel Brown to their respective fire districts. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Did we have an appointment for conservation? board?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Next is Lisa Smith, County Auditor.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Need a motion to approve the minutes of the January 3rd, 2022 board proceedings as written by Auditor Smith and authorized publication in the official newspaper.
So moved.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion needed to approve a handwritten warrant for the county zoning officials of Iowa for $75 for membership dues and registration for Christina Tranel.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
Motion needed to accept, place on file, and authorize the chair's signature on the county recorder's report of fees collected for the month of December 2021 in the amount of $64,826.68.
So moved.
Second.
With a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
All right, Lisa, maybe you want to explain that just a little bit.
The county recorder's fees collected?
Oh, no, I thought you were on the handwritten warrant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All
no, So you're
all I
talking
wanted
about,
to say about-
correct, Mike?
all I wanted to say about the fees collected was it was a good month the way it looked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It was, yeah. No, my next thing on the, for this morning is I do need a motion is needed to approve and authorize the chair's signature on the funding agreement between Jackson County, Iowa and Jackson County 911 Joint Commission. The county resolves to appropriate $550,000 to the 911 system to be used for the updating of the hardware and software equipment for the emergency radio response system for the Jackson County Emergency 911 Service Board. Now, you as a board have already authorized that this $550,000 is coming from the ARPA funds, and we've passed a resolution for that purpose. But in some of the reading that we've done is we felt that we needed to have this agreement between you as the Board of Supervisors and the 911 board. I believe, Mike, if you correct me, this has already been signed by the 911 board, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just saying that we are using this $550,000 from the ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan. We're doing it to help with the mitigation, because of our law enforcement officials and such that are having to deal with the COVID crisis and the mitigation of it. And we're just being transparent. This is what we're doing. We're spending part of our ARPA funds for this project. You as a board have decided that this is a necessary and a very viable project that needs funding. And that part of the reason that you're giving this money is due to the increase in COVID in our community.
including large amount of extra calls on everyone's part, law enforcement, emergency management, emergency services, EMS services. They've all done a tremendous job, and we do have an issue with our communication system. So it's basically 50 years old and needs to be updated one way or the other. We thought this was a very good use of funds.
And that's why I just need your motion today to approve and authorize the chair's signature.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
That's all that I have for the board today.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Well. I guess our next item is discussion possible action on awarding of bids. Is John going to call
John
in
will-
for that?
No, John will physically be here.
Oh, he'll
Yeah,
physically
John is
be here.
coming. Yes.
It's at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's at 10 o'clock. So at this time, we'll recess until he gets here and we can proceed.
Okay.
At this time, we'll reconvene and we're being joined by Heidi Klug from Northland Securities to discuss law enforcement center bond.
Perfect. Well, today, really what I wanted to do is, now that today you have on the agenda later to either accept or reject the bids. And assuming that all goes to plan, I'm just gonna go over with the board and touch base with you on how the process will go from here to obtain the funds from the referendum that passed for that 5.9 million that you passed back in March. So you'll see in front of you, there's a finance plan here that just details the calendar of events, and then I have a rate update for you as well as where market rates are
Okay.
at. So actually where I'll start is actually on Mike, I'm gonna start on page 3. There'll be a calendar on it. It'll look just like this.
Okay, can I ask a question, Heidi?
Bet.
I'm gonna back you up a little bit just because I have a question to, I don't know what page it is, page 1, I guess, other than the cover page. Estimated interest rate 1.9. My question is, do them bids go out locally too, to our local, or who all gets to bid on that?
Sure. So these will be bonds that will be offered out to the public. These bonds we will be in contact with all local banks within the county. and
Okay, that was my question.
If they are interested in the bonds, they can purchase on a portion of it. This is a large bond, and so it'll be
Do you have an
offered.
extra copy of this that Andrew could look at? He's our chief.
I think I got one in my book here.
No, because this is what she handed out this morning.
Oh,
I have
this is
one.
new.
Yeah, this is different than what.
Otherwise, I'm okay with you if you want to sit up here.
I have.
You've got one.
Yeah, that's, thanks.
My copy should be laying there.
Perfect. So these will, we will contact all the local banks. I will be putting a list together and having the auditor's office check that, make sure that we're getting all the local banks
Okay,
contact.
Mike, what
and the
did
question.
your hand is up? Are you
Again.
Are you just waving at us or what's going on?
I can raise my hand on the computer, but I don't know if anybody see it, but I guess my first question, the initial cover page says 5,895,000.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, how about we'll get to that.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I'm sorry.
Lisa had already shared that with me, so
So
back to the calendar.
calendar of events. Sorry, I'm a little slow. So with issuing bonds, there'll be a few steps that the board will need to take. Starting next week, you will have an action on your agenda for an approval of an official statement, a preliminary official statement. That document will be coming to the county later today for review. It is a preliminary document. It will have details of the bond and then also details of the county, including valuation histories, top 10 employers, top 10 taxpayers, all the information that a potential investor would want to review.
Which we've done the tentative, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
And so we'll send that out to you today. It's a preliminary document. It will not be finalized until the bonds are sold. So if you see something in there, you know, a typo or something in there, we can make any changes. We can approve it next week pending any changes.
Okay,
So that's next week. Assuming that everything is okay and bids are awarded, we will request a rating from the bond, and we'll be scheduling that call later this week. And that will be a conjunction of the auditor's office, one or more of the board, and then we'll probably ask economic development to join in on that call, the Jackson County, to talk about the economy of Jackson County. We'll be preparing in the next few weeks, having pre-meetings for that. There are 2 different rating companies to choose from. Based off of your par amount, I chose the one that would have a lower rating. Both are looked at as just equally in the market. So we'll look at the S&P process. That will be a phone call. And we expect that to be sometime in late January. If there's any dates that I need to be aware of, let me know those dates and we'll work around those. So that's what we'll be working on later this week and getting that scheduled in late January. Once that rating is received, then the board will have an action to lock in interest rates. And that is scheduled for February 15th.
So you get February 4th here for the rating received.
Yes.
So you changing that from the 4th to the 15th.
The rating will be received, and then once that rating is received, we'll go ahead and go into the
So your
market.
schedule is correct.
Yes,
Okay, yep,
schedule's correct.
Good.
That you'll do see that on the 14th, I have the pricing of the bonds. That's when Northland is doing our work of contacting investors and getting a rate. We'll come back with a contract on the 15th, and that is the date that we'll be locking in interest rates. After that, the county has one more action, and that is an issuance resolution. What that issuance resolution is equal to when you go into a mortgage, it's signing on the dotted line. There's no changes to the numbers. It's that legalization. Lisa will have a stack of papers this thick to sign, but at that point, it's pretty much a signing off. And then 15 days later, we have the scheduled closing. That is not a board action, but funds will be available, and we'll coordinate with the county to receive the wire of those funds, and then you can begin to make payments after March 16th.
So we
Just
make
a-
payments, we start with payments right away. We don't wait for completion of the jail.
No, we've already levied for our debt service
Oh, that's
levy.
right.
So,
Yeah.
yes, so we're already in process
Of
of
collecting money.
collecting money to
Okay.
pay off
so
our
you start
loan.
paying the
We haven't-
quicker you're done.
Yeah, we haven't got the loan yet. We haven't got the bind yet, but we already have started collecting money to pay our first
Okay.
installment. Yes.
I do remember that now.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
Yep.
closing in March, you'll make a payment June 1st of this year.
Yeah.
And setting, having the county set up like that allows for lower interest because you're paying off a portion of principal right away. Instead of, working with an interest payment that first year and trying to fund that. So you're set up very well from that standpoint.
Good.
It also allows for the 20-year period to have a full 20 years worth of payments within that 20-year period of the bonds. All right. Mike, I'm getting close to your question.
Okay, I'm patiently waiting.
So,
Here's, when I do something, I usually start with the front page and then go back, but you know, you start in the middle.
That's too easy.
that's too easy. You know, I just wanted to talk about that process because the county hasn't been through it, see if there's any questions, and then just give you a rate update and to show you what the schedule may look like at the date that we lock in interest rates. So estimated interest rate, you'll see that true interest cost of 1.9%, that is based off of current interest rates as of about a week ago. We're seeing that, you know, we're seeing pretty much stability within the market with slight fluctuations. But you know, the market's really just starting to get going again after the close of the last year. So if you will be subject to any interest rate risk until you get to the 15th of February. So Mike had a question about the par amount of the bonds. You'll see that is less than the it is less than the 5.9. If you remember the conversations we had last spring, is because of how low interest rates are right now, investors are wanting a premium for the bonds. And in order to get you the 5.9 million for your construction fund, we may be reducing the par amount of the bonds due to the amount of premium that you'll receive. We'll be structuring this that you know, that the county only receives the 5.9, and we may be doing some additional math to account for that premium. And what that'll do is that'll reduce the size of the bonds. Just to further explain that premium, if you go to actually on page 5, you'll see that the par amount of the bonds is 5.895. This example shows that the coupon is higher on the first 10 years, and that you'll receive an additional premium for that amount. And so that additional premium is netted down to that 5.895.
So by these numbers, Heidi, it says like the premium could amount to 121,000 or almost 122,000.
That is right now the estimated cost of the issuance, which is less than 2%, which is a standard premium. If the premium is higher than that, then we would be reducing the bond par amount further than that.
We've talked about this. This has been quite a conversation between Heidi and I.
Okay,
Good thing to know is that interest rates are still continue to be very low. You know, and what I have here is that your estimated levy rate would be just shy of 29 cents for the based off of your 2023 new valuations.
and we have projected 32 cents, correct?
That's
Yes.
correct.
We had,
And can I safely say, or I can't safely say, but the projections or the trend seems to be that interest rates are going to rise here shortly.
That is very possible.
so the sooner we lock it in, the better.
So, we're getting you started on getting the document, getting this rating schedule and getting you into the market here in the next.
We have, just so you know, we have filled out some preliminary paperwork. We have been discussing our fund balances and projects that we have scheduled here to see, where our cash flow and such is, and honestly, everything we've been told, our finances look good. So obviously, we won't get probably the AAA and 4 gold star rating because of just being in rural Iowa. But I would anticipate on conversations with Heidi here that we will have a very good rating.
I can't see that we wouldn't with no debt levy no current debt.
Yes.
We have a good fund balance. We have,
You have good fund balances, you have a good management, and you have a very good debt ratio currently. And even with a 5.9, that's not an excessive amount of debt for our county. So everything points to that the rating process will go
We
very
certainly
well.
hope so.
Yep.
Yep, and should be.
Yep.
And if we're not, we should question it.
well. Yes.
So, with that, I also put together just a summary showing a cash flow showing based off of the estimates that you've received from the construction bid, that with ARPA funds, the bond proceed estimate of 5.9 million and the cash on hand that you've already committed, it should fund the bids and possibly also a contingency and any extras. So from a cash flow standpoint, issuing bonds here at this point and with the funds that are projected with ARPA, this should cash flow and the county should have funds to proceed. So it all looks like things are kind of coming together at this point. That's why I was here today, to kind of touch base with everyone and just answer any questions before we start getting into the bond process.
Sounds good.
Do you have any questions, Mike?
I don't think I've looked over the numbers here and with the conversation we had with John, I think we're on the same page here, yeah.
No direction today, there's
That's wonderful.
nothing, no action today, but we'll have something,
Yeah.
action next
This
week.
is just a good explanation of how we're going to proceed.
Yeah, I think, like I said, Heidi and I have been talking, we've also consulted with Steve Nadel, our bonding attorney, that has given us direction as far as all of the paperwork that needs to be done to make sure that we're dotting i's and crossing t's. And so, yeah, I mean, it's from my perspective, I think it's all systems go and all systems forward. Everybody's telling us build a jail, build a law enforcement center.
Sounds good to me. Wish we were ready to move in.
We both.
Okay, thank you, Heidi.
You bet.
Are you gonna stay for the,
You know what, I will stick around,
it's fun, we're a fun group.
You know
Yeah.
what, I came in this morning, and if there's any questions that come up during that time, I'll be available.
Okay,
Good idea.
this time we'll recess until we're joined by John. Okay, at this time we'll reconvene, and we've been joined by John Hanson. And the item on the agenda is discussion possible action on award bids for the law enforcement center project.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
So I did review, did contact all the contractors, the local contractors. And was able to qualify their bids, and they did include everything in their bids. Per the plans and specifications. We talked about schedule and some other things. So at this time, we are ready to make a recommendation that we would award the bids to the low contractors as indicated in the resolution.
Number 857-01-11-2022.
Okay, and contractors were Bruce Builders out of Eldridge, Iowa. Would be the general construction. Stronghold Industries would be the detention equipment contractor. Kraus Plumbing would be the plumbing. Geisler Brothers would be the HVAC. And electrical would be Rock River Electric. And fire sprinkler would be Midwest Fire Sprinkler Company. Those were the apparent low bidders, and it'd be our recommendation that we award contracts to the apparent low.
And you have discussed that with all of them and everything is as
Yeah.
planned?
Yes,
Would make a motion to approve.
I would second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution, which lists the contractors that were the apparent low bidders and award the contracts to those individuals. All those in favor?
Aye.
thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
And let's do a roll call vote this morning.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Steinis,
Aye.
Willie,
Aye.
McDevitt,
Yes.
Very good, then we can get started.
Praise the
Today.
Lord.
Supposed to be warm today, so we can start digging, right?
I meant to bring this, I meant to bring that Staples thing, that was easy. So,
A lot of preliminary work there.
any other questions for me?
And you're meeting with the contractors this afternoon?
We're gonna hold a pre-construction meeting
Okay.
today so that we can get them familiarized with everything and make sure that they're ready to go.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank
and I
you.
still haven't received any plans back from anybody, so unfortunately I can't give you.
Oh, I got a truck.
Okay,
full.
all right. Okay,
Yeah, we
yeah,
got them loaded up
good,
today.
okay, great, that's,
Thank you.
do you need some help getting them in, or,
No, I'm gonna have them pull up out there.
okay,
because
I was gonna say, if not,
there's
we've got a
so
flat
many.
cart, yeah.
Okay, is there any other business to come before the meeting this morning?
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I would second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting is.
Do we
adjourned.
still have a work session planned with Marty, a budget session, work session?
We're supposed to have a work session with him